In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about how to get a high limit credit card that actually pulls from a TransUnion. And obviously, we are speaking about a credit union credit card, not just any kind of credit card, but a credit union credit card that pulls TransUnion either exclusively or primarily. Don't you go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee of the Awesome Sort of Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great and blessed as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about credit union credit cards that pull TransUnion for fair credit. How do you get a high limit instantaneously? Well, I want you to picture this. I want you to see this on the screen. I'm going to share with you the steps you need to follow to make sure you get the credit card that you need, okay? From the credit union, of course. The first thing is you need to zero in on those credit unions that pull TransUnion for credit cards and loans exclusively or primarily. And when we talk about that list, the very first institution is NavyFed. You know, the cool thing about NavyFed is that they actually have a nationwide footprint. So it doesn't matter where you live, whether you are in Texas, Oregon, Maine, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, California, it doesn't really matter, okay? So you can actually qualify for all kinds of credit cards, kinds of high limit credit cards from NavyFed. And I'm talking about, they basically have 5 major credit cards. You're talking about the cash rewards, okay? You have the Platinum, you have the Gold Rewards, you have the Visa Signature Flagship Rewards, and you have the Navy Federal More Rewards, American Express cards. So here is a constellation of very prestigious cards that you might want to have. So this is really good. I mean, when we talk about credit unions that have a nationwide footprint, we also have to talk about Connexus. Connexus are really good. Also, they actually pull TransUnion. So this is really good if you have a high TransUnion credit score and you want to boost your chances of approval, then Connexus will be a good opportunity for you. Okay. And likewise, we are talking about Consumers Credit Union. CCU is also really good. I mean, they have stellar customer service. One thing we love with CCU is that they are constantly innovating. Okay. They're changing things all the time. This is really good. You also have BECU. Okay. They also have a BCU does not have a nationwide footprint, but if you are in the geographies that they cover, or you work in the industries that they cover, this could be a good opportunity. And they pull TransUnion for high limit credit cards. Okay. You also have Alliance Credit Union, very good. You have Teachers Federal Credit Union, and you have Lake Michigan Credit Union. So here you have it. You have a constellation, a variety of credit unions that pull TransUnion exclusively or primarily. The second thing you have to do, you got to select the CU, the credit union. I mean, this is kind of cool. I mean, you probably have a clear idea already about the credit union that you want, right? But the thing is, it's very important to go strategically about that because, a lot of folks think about, well, I want a credit union. I have to think about geography. No, but geography it's only one criterion, boss. You got to think about biology. You got to think about your profession, okay? Because when we talk about eligibility criteria for a credit union, it's not just geography. You have a trifecta. Sometimes they even talk about religious affiliation. So it really depends on the credit union. What I want you to do here is that you have to actually look at a constellation. You have to look at a variety of factors before choosing a credit union. Okay, you want to look at their rates and fees, very important. You want to look at their customer service. Okay, do they have a stellar customer service or they have a crappy one? Okay, do they have a community focus? In other words, some credit unions they focus regionally or locally. Okay, so if that's kind of cool if you really want that, that's fine, because the funny thing is not everybody wants to have a credit union that has a national footprint. No, people are comfortable just having a credit union that satisfies their needs. That's all it is. You got to have your needs. So what I want you to think about, brother, sister, I want you to really think about your needs. Why do you need a credit card? And based on that needs, based on that spending patterns, you can actually find out which credit unions actually will fit those needs, either nationally or regionally or locally. Okay. You also want to pay attention to apps and technology. Is that important for you? Do you actually do all your transactions via mobile? Okay, via your cell phone. If that's the case, then you want to make sure that the credit union that you choose actually has that capability. Very important. So you have the right expectations right off the bat. Okay. What about ATMs and branch locations? Is that important for you? What about security and insurance? Okay, we're talking about the security of funds. Okay, so you want to evaluate your needs. Very important. Okay, and you want to check your eligibility also, because when we talk about credit unions, obviously you have to qualify for membership, right? So we're talking about your area of work or industry, your religious affiliation, membership in other organizations, connections with family members. So that's the biology I was talking about earlier. Education credit unions, public credit unions. So it's really, you have a very dense list of criteria to qualify for. The third thing I want you to do is you want to consider credit union banking. Because, grandfather, grandma, I'm still talking to you about how to qualify for a high limit credit card from a credit union that pulls TransUnion exclusively or primarily. Okay, so if you happen to have a high FICO score from TransUnion, if you believe that your credit score from TransUnion is a higher, then you want to listen. You need to consider banking with them. What I'm trying to say here is you need to start building a relationship with a credit union that you want to get a credit card from. It's very important. We've said this on this show all the time, and sometimes people just laugh at us, whatever. People just they think we're just talking shh. We're not talking shh. We really are talking about the reality here. If you want to get a high limit credit card, you need to establish a relationship with a credit union. That's what it is. That's the bottom line. And I don't care what people say, but this is what it is. And when we talk about establishing a relationship, we're not just talking about having peanuts in the account. No, you really want to have some cash, not some sizable cash. You don't have to be rich or whatever. No, but you need to have some cash in the account. So at a minimum, brother, I want you to open a checking account and a savings account. Do this right now. Okay, you want to start today. And then if you have some cash to park, you can think about other savings products, right? IRAs, CDs, certificate of deposit. Those are really important. And you also want to, when it comes to choosing your credit unions, you want to make sure that they have also the right credit product for you, right? The credit products include, we're talking about consumer loans, credit cards. We are speaking about mortgages and home ownership products. Okay, you want to think about, do they accept direct deposits? Are they cool with money transfers? A lot of things. So it's all about, again, evaluating your needs and making sure that those needs are in harmony with the credit unions that you are going to apply for membership for. Okay, it's important also to think about whether they accept online and mobile banking. I was just saying this earlier, right? And you want to make sure that they accept also mobile payments and mobile wallet. So this is really important. So the bottom line here is money. Make sure that your money actually sits at the right institution, boss. Make sure that you choose the right credit union based on your financial needs. That's all it is, financial needs. The fourth thing I want you to think about here, boss, I want you to pick the card. See, we are talking about a credit union high limit credit card that actually pulls TransUnion. Okay, you're probably thinking, I really don't care. They'll give me whatever card I want. I'll take that. That's wrong, bro. Sis, I'm talking to you. And I mean, you just probably walking away. You walking away from me right now, but I'm talking to you. Hey, come back. I'm talking to you. You need to put some thoughts in choosing the credit card that you need. Don't leave things to chance. I don't want you just to walk out in a credit union branch and just apply randomly, like whatever credit card they have for me. No. You want to study the card that you need. Are you looking for a cashback card? Are you looking for a balance transfer card? Are you looking for a rewards card? You have to think about those things beforehand. I want you to think beforehand about those things so that you can zero in on the particular card that you're looking for. We're not here sitting around and just leaving things to chance. No, credit is a game, but it's a super intense game. You got to know the rules, bro. Grandpa, grandma, you sitting around, are you with me? I want you to learn the rules of the game. Okay, so you want to really think about the credit. First of all, you got to check your credit score. because the credit card that you choose you have to meet the requirements of that credit card. So check your credit score first, okay? You need to pick the type of card that fits you best. I said that before. You need to pick the card that offers the best value. This is very important in terms of credit line increases, graduation. Okay, if they have a 0% intro offer, you want to see the length of that period, right? You want to make sure that they have as fewer fees as possible. Very important. If you're looking for a rewards cards, what type of rewards are you looking for? Okay, does the card have an annual fee? Those are things I want you to think about. And the thing here is you need to familiarize yourself with interest rates and fees that the card is charging. Okay, that's what I was just talking to you about. Do not leave anything to chance. I don't want you just to walk your ass into a credit union's branch and say, you know what, I'm gonna apply for whatever card you guys have. You know what? If you say this, you're gonna have whatever limits you want, and you're not gonna have a high limit. You're gonna have a tiny ass $300 or $1,000 of credit limits. We don't want that. Okay, I want you to have 4-digit or 5 digits limit. That's where the juice really is at. I want to talk to you now about pre-qualification. Pre-qualification is really important. I mean, the thing here is that if you want to have a high limit credit card from a credit union that pulls TransUnion, you want to see if you can qualify for pre-qualification. What is that? I mean, we really have to have a clear idea what we're talking about. What is the pre-qualification? Well, the thing here is that sometimes the credit union itself will send you a pre-qualification link. Okay, if you are really good and they like your profile, your financial profile, and all that kind of stuff, they'll send you a link. Now, sometimes the link is available online publicly. In other words, you don't have to be a member to see it, but usually they will send you a link. In other words, when you log into your account, and you probably see a link that say, you are pre-qualified for this and this and this card. Wait a minute, hold your horses. Don't just start jumping and just feeling like kumbaya. I just made it, whatever. Pre-qualification doesn't mean that you've got the card. No, it just means that, hey, listen, we have pre-screened your ass and we believe that you can qualify for our credit card. You still need to put your information though. You got to put your income and all that kind of stuff. Now, if you want to boost your chances of getting a pre-qualification offer from your credit unions, there is not 1,000 ways of doing this. You got to pay your bills on time. You have to pay your bills on time all the time. Okay, we have to establish this stellar financial history, this stellar pattern of financial responsibility, boss. Okay, this is important. And I want you also to keep your card balances low. This is the thing I was telling you earlier. Juan, yeah, I'm talking to you. See, that's the thing that you're having. The last time you were talking to me about your CUR, and you have a CUR of what? 60%. That's too high. I'm telling you, boss, that's too high. You want to bring your CUR, your credit utilization ratio, to 30% or less. Okay, so if you want to boost your chances of having a pre-approval link or whatever, you got to keep that CUR low. Okay, and Juan, it's not about you. It's not about how much you're making. I want you to understand. It's not about how much you're making. It's about how much you're spending. Okay, and you want to improve your credit score with more accessible products. The thing here is that people are talking about, well, they pull TransUnion, but some credit unions pull more than one credit bureau. This is why I was just telling you that you just have to maintain a life of financial responsibility, so that if your TransUnion score goes up, so will the other two. Very important. So big decision time. Have you done everything possible to actually be in a position where you can get a pre-qualification link from your credit union? Have you done that, boss? Talk to me about that. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation about how to get a high limit credit card from a credit union that pulls TransUnion. Okay, now I want you to really study the requirements of the card. I was just talking to you earlier about, I'm just tired of folks actually applying for credit cards randomly. They go online and they just say, you know what, I think I want this card. Or maybe, my cousin has this card and I want it too. Or I probably read it in the forums that this card is fantastic and I want it too. Boss, you got to do your own research. Listen, hey, I'm telling you, you need to do your research. And again, the thing is, I don't care if you don't like what I'm telling you, but I'm telling you the truth. I want you to qualify for credit cards. I want you to get high limit credit cards. I want your ass to laugh all the way to the bank, all the way to the credit unions, whatever, to get the car you need. And you need preparation. You need commitment. You need actually resilience. You need perseverance. You need determination. And everything starts with planning. You need to understand the requirements of the credit union credit cards that you're looking for. Okay, boss. And when we talk about the requirements, we're talking about first, you got to think about the age. Do you qualify age-wise? Are you 21 or older? Okay. Do you have a verifiable source of income? We're not just talking about, it doesn't matter how much you're making, but can you prove it? Okay. Because I see y'all always looking for no proof of income, loans or whatever. But for credit cards, they want to see your income. That's what it is, especially from a credit union that's by definition very conservative. You better have a proof of income. Okay. You also make sure that you need to have a physical address that can be traceable. Okay. You need to have a valid social security number, of course. Okay. Remember that when we talk about credit card requirements, they vary from credit unions. Okay. So there's no standard list of requirements. Okay. And just make sure that you don't have a lot of recent new accounts, boss. Okay. What's up with that? Having credit inquiries all the time, no, you're just like jumping from one credit card application to another. What's up with that? Slow down. Hold your horses. Hey, stop that. If you are in that category of always applying for credit cards and saying, I'm going to apply for 10 credit cards on this day because it counts for one. You are boy. You got to stop that. Okay. And make sure. So here is the approach. The approach is to study the requirements of the credit card and see if you can qualify at this moment. If you cannot qualify now, you want to have a time plan. You want to have a timeline for when you would qualify for that particular credit card and go for it. The last thing I want to talk to you about today, boss, you probably guessed it already. That's your FICO score. Yeah. The funny thing is, can you believe that there are people who actually apply for credit union credit cards and they have no idea what the credit score is? I'm talking about TransUnion though. You probably think, historically my TransUnion scores have been higher. But the question is, do you have a clear idea today, right now you are listening to me. Do you have a clear idea of your TransUnion credit score? It's just crazy. People actually, folks, we got to wake up. We got to take things in our own hands. We have to check our FICO scores, whatever, and make sure that the numbers are correct. Okay. And you want to check your credit score for your credit reports for accuracy. TransUnion, actually, I say you should check all three of them. It's not just TransUnion because, yeah, of course, today we are talking about TransUnion, but, the gap, the delta between the scores in all those three credit bureaus is not that much, really, honestly. And historically, it's not that huge also. But you want to be in a situation where you constantly improve your credit score. See, what I'm trying to say is it shouldn't be an afterthought. It should be something you think about continually. You think about systematically. What do I mean? Make sure you always pay your credit accounts on time. All the time. Okay, credit cards, lines of credit, loans, student loans, mortgages, whatever, you always want to pay on time. And if you have some difficulty, you want to contact the credit union or the bank automatically. It has to be reflexive. It has to become a reflex for you. Okay. And lower your credit utilization ratio. I've said this before. Folks just walk around and they think a credit card is just a tool among other tools. No, credit card is a very powerful tool, but you have to know how to use it. So you want to lower your credit utilization ratio. Live within your means, boss. What's up with that? People just walking around trying to pretend something they're not, or somebody they're not. What's up with that? We got to stop that, okay? We're not trying to impersonate somebody here, trying to spend money on whatever designer shoes or whatever, designer clothes, whatever. But you're making only 10 grand a year. Or you're making 20 grand a year. Be yourself, okay? And you want to take care of a credit accounts. If you have credit accounts right now that have been sent to collections, I want you right now, sis, grandpa, grandma, mom, I'm talking to you. I just want you to pay those collections, okay? You want to optimize also your account age, your credit mix, and credit inquiries. We're speaking about making sure that you have a diversity of credit products, okay? Not just one product, okay? That you also make sure that you are applying for credit cards, I would say systematically. In other words, you want to let credit card application actually run. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is you want to apply maybe twice a year or 3 times a year, but not often, not frequently, okay? Thank you so much for your attention today. I was just talking to you about the credit union credit cards that pull TransUnion for high limit credit cards. So you have to think about the credit unions. You have to select the credit union banking, the card pick, pre-qualification, requirements, and your FICO score. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.